Hello and welcome to this quite serene episode of Brologs. As you can see, I'm here out in nature, specifically a little park outside my sister's dance studio as I'm getting attacked subtly by bees. So let's keep this quick and to the point. This past Saturday, I went to a bachelor party. It wasn't exactly similar to any bachelor party I believe I've ever been to. Granted, it was my first, but it definitely doesn't fall under the lines of what I would contribute to be a bachelor party. We went to Dreamlab Gaming, which is a Lan Center located in Arcadia, California. If you're in the area, you can go ahead and check that out. It's fairly interesting. Parking's a bitch, to say the least. However, they have at least like 30 land PCs. I think it was like somewhere like 35. Quite a few people were there, unsurprisingly enough, really. A lot of them were playing League or Dota. I saw a lot more Dota players there than League, which is nice to see, I guess. I'm slightly partial to Dota, but what I was really... another cool thing that I noticed, I had to mark this down. I'm going to put it down in the links below. But the cool thing was that they were running something called Valve's Cyber Cafe. It's pretty much, I believe, free licensing software, and it pretty much helps them set up the entire cyber cafe experience. So they had really, really affordable rates. I don't know if they're governed by Steam or Valve themselves. However, with Cyber Cafe, you have over 250 titles, which was absolutely phenomenal. They had obviously all the classic games like Counter-Strike, which we played pretty much all day. TF2, I believe. Some Portal, and just a ton of other games. Another cool thing that they set up themselves was they had Origin installed as well. And unfortunately, EA does not offer something similar to this. So it was pretty interesting and amazing that they actually bought at least one title for each computer. So they didn't have too many for that reason, but still, nonetheless, pretty damn awesome. And definitely check out, like I said, if you're in the area. Moving on I know I've been talking about possibly getting some sort of giveaway, so I need to talk to GMT so I can set it up so it's held within Brosef bot and not necessarily just through me, so I can pretty much have that help from him. But the idea is you're going to be able to trade in EXP, which you accrue by accruing points and then transferring them over to EXP. In EXP, you're able to level up automatically. We're still working on that, but the neat thing is that you're going to be able to buy raffle ticket points or giveaway points, or giveaway tickets, I should say. Maximum of 5 tickets per person, and this will be held every single month. Haven't determined a price. I'm thinking somewhere around the lines of 300 EXP for the first one, definitely. So, like I said, if a lot of people do seem to buy in, then that may be a good price. So, like I said, we're really kind of in beta testing, if you will, more like idea giving. But the cool thing is that you're able to pick any Steam game just because you're able to gift them on Steam, and you know, any single Steam game on there worth $60 or less. Really, so pretty much any major title. The only reason I do cap it at $60 roughly, not including tax or whatever, is just because there are pieces of software on there that tend to be a little bit more. But you know, for the most part, everything's pretty solid, solidly at 60 and underneath. So pretty much any Steam game of your choice. I just swore that was. I was hoping that wasn't a B, and it wasn't, thankfully, because there's at least 5 of them around. So I am allergic, which is the only reason why I'm actually worrying. And I don't want to get stung on Brologs because that would suck. The other cool thing is that if you do live in the continental U.S., you can actually opt out to just getting the Steam game. You can actually get a console game or even any PC game that can contain from like a GameStop or a Best Buy or wherever, and I can actually ship that out to you if you are within the continental U.S. just because it is a lot cheaper than shipping it overseas. Or even to, I guess Hawaii and whatever, but continental U.S., rule of thumb, you're pretty much good. You can pick any console game you want, so it definitely opens the doors. And it should, like I said, this should be happening every month. The first one, we're gonna try and open up toward the end of May, and that raffle will be whenever we have the 2,000-minute marathon for reaching 2,000 followers on Twitch, which again, If you can help me out there, that would be absolutely fantastic. The last thing I believe I want to talk to you about is Brosef's Tech Lab. It's pretty much the experimental tech podcast for Brosef Studios. Really, I know we haven't been doing Audible Anomaly, and it's kind of been for a reason, for good reason, I should say, mainly because we haven't gotten ourselves on iTunes. At least I haven't found a feasible way until now. I think I have a way where I'm able to actually get us onto iTunes. So I wanted to experiment instead with Audible Anomaly with my own little podcast, whatever, radio show. If it does get some traction and take off, then hey, maybe I'll do that as well on the side. But a lot of it will be similar content to what we're hosting on Audible Anomaly, just because also a few of the ideas that I have for Audible Anomaly require a little bit of patience and time, and namely me getting my hands on a prize wheel. More will make sense as we get it, and you're able to to figure out what I'm talking about with that. So mostly they're going to be actually live on Mixlr as well as Twitch. And I'm thinking every Saturday around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, just because that seems a good time for me to actually get all the notes and all the things together. And I'm usually home at that time, so it gives me a chance to go with my family and still, come home and do it, since everyone passes out at like 9 anyway, so it's like, whatever. So yeah, it's usually going to be 30 minutes. We're going to discuss all the cool things. I think already lined up, because I'm filming this on Tuesday, which if you're in California, it is absolutely hot out there. So stay warm, stay cool, stay hydrated. I'm going to go after this and get some water, maybe a Slurpee or something to drink, because it is really, really hot. It's, I think, in the 90s today. It's supposed to reach 100 in the next 2 days, so fun stuff. But yeah, I don't remember what I was saying already. 30 minutes. For sure, the first topic I know I'm going to talk about, I'm debating whether or not I want to talk about Apple's interest in Beats. Really don't want to say much more than that. I have a lot of ideas and whatever, so I most likely will, especially if it does end up happening this week. But the other thing I want to talk about was the recent developments with Microsoft and their Xbox One. If you guys haven't heard, they're dropping the sale of the Xbox with the Kinect. They will offer it, but it's not going to be mandatory anymore. So they're selling the console by itself at $399, and not just that, but they're also ditching mandating you to have Xbox Live Gold, as well as so you can watch, I should say, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, etc. etc. So they're definitely trying to compete with PS3, whether they want to admit it or not, which I do have a few tidbits and what have you, and I have a lot of good stuff. So that's for sure going to be talked on the podcast, on the debut podcast this Saturday. So a lot to look forward to. Unfortunately, I don't have an Easter egg, so you can pretend that this recorder that's connected to my lav mic is the Easter egg, so it's in my hand, I guess. And I guess for this week's podcast, for this week's new homework, I can't speak. I am actually doing this in one take, which is kind of awkward. And I'm not going to redo this because it's just hot out here, really, unless I get stung, which that was pretty close. What phobias do you have? I guess would be this week's homework. I don't necessarily have a phobia, but I definitely try and stay away from bees personally. I've noticed I've been having some claustrophobia lately, personally. I don't like being in groups. I don't know if it's just I hate people because of my last job, or if it really is that I actually have a case of claustrophobia. It's in the mind, I know that much, but for whatever reason, I do get a little heavy at breathing and what have you, and I do show signs of claustrophobia in claustrophobic-like conditions. Yeah. But what phobias do you guys have? That's going to be this week's homework, not really relevant to anything. So if you have any opinions on anything I've talked about today, let me know. And I'll try and get that to you. I'll also probably include a picture of Dreamlab somewhere in the description, probably posted on my Flickr. You can check that out. You can check me out on Instagram. I'm starting to get that started up again. Brosef Studios at Instagram. Always on Facebook at Brosef Gaming, Brosef Tech Lab on Mixler, and Twitch will just be my Brosef Gaming tag. And anywhere else, let me know, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Oh.